details, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of The Mediator with me, your host, Brian West, here to give you the top 8 headlines and developing news stories that made it this week. As usual, I'll give you the top 8 local headlines and developing news stories that made it first, followed by a movie clip, a skit, a trailer, or something that's going on in the community, or some pictures. And then I'll give you the top 8 international headlines and developing news stories that made it this week. So let's waste no time. Oh yeah, let's get to it. Story number 1, Youngstown looking to improve downtown streets. The contract to improve several downtown Youngstown streets has been awarded to Marucci and Gaffney's Excavating Company of Youngstown. The project includes paving, improvements to lighting, and street widening adjustments that will also include the replacement of diagonal parking spots with parallel parking spots. The work is estimated to be about $26 million due to Marucci and Gaffney's proposal, which will save on the actual estimated cost the city. Now, because of a current water line project in place, the work has been delayed until 2022 and will carry on into 2023. Let's see how this story keeps on. Story number 2, new VA facility set to open on Belmont. A new Veterans Affairs outpatient clinic has opened up on 4.28 acres of property with 35,000 square feet of space. The new facility is named after Carl A. Nunziatu and will employ 94 people. The new clinic will house a pharmacy, an optometrist, and a laboratory and space for physical therapy and radiology. The goal is to implement better techniques to care for veterans. Nunziatu, whom the facility is named after, lost both legs in 1966 serving in Operation Adelboro. Now, the local article notes that Nunziatu also assured that the building is wheelchair accessible. So this is big plans for this area, and it's big news for veterans. Story number 3, drug problems still nag surrounding communities. Surrounding communities are still reporting drug overdoses. Trumbull County had 90 confirmed fatal overdose deaths in 2020. Several other communities were also mentioned in the local article, pointing out stats and numbers as local counselors continue to struggle with getting people to kick their bad habits, and replace them with good habits. Now, with the advancements in science, doctors have been using naloxone as a reversal drugs, but with the increase in relapses and the powerful mixture of other drugs that increase the release of dopamine in the brain, winning the drug war poses a huge challenge. The story is still developing. Story number 4, the Mahoning County Auditor is talking buyouts to save money. The Mahoning County Auditor Ralph Meacham says that a buyout for employees who have between 15 and 35 years of service at the auditor's office may be a valid solution to save money, because current employees cost more money than the new employees coming in. So he's talking a buyout to save money. The auditor also cited healthcare costs as a valid reason for buyouts. He goes on by pointing out how a buyout program could not only save the department but could save money. So keep an eye on story number 4. That's why I made it this week. Story number 5, Lawrencetown Motors looking to get more federal loan assistance. The ATVM loan program touted by Congressman Tim Ryan could secure the launch and production of the LMC Endurance pickup truck. LMC, Lawrencetown Motor Company, has reportedly made it to the next stage in the application process, according to a local Vindicator article. The Advanced Technology Vehicles Loan Program has been around since 2007, but there is no sure shot that LMC will get approved for the loan that they say would help, but does not weigh heavily on the company's business plans. So basically what the article is saying, that they're saying that they could do with or without the loan. Now, the program has already loaned about $8 billion, which to companies that include companies like Ford, Tesla, and Nissan. Demand for the endurance truck has already started, so they are really whatever they're taking, whatever they can get to improve their business plans. That's why story number 5 made it in this week, because they're impacting the local market, especially if sales continue to be in demand. Story number 6, Carl Davis is set to be the new police chief for Youngstown. Youngstown Mayor Jamel Tito Brown parted ways with former police chief Robin Lees and appointed Carl Davis, who has been with the department for 34 years. Davis says he wants to be more interactive with the police department and plans to engage more with the public. Now, his goal is to restore confidence, according to a local front page Mediator article. In a growing push for a more diverse and community-friendly police department, it will be interesting to see how police forces all around the country, including Youngstown, adapt to growing media attention on police training and tactical training procedures to uphold law and order. It is also important to note that new police chief Carl Davis lives in Youngstown, so he lives in the city. That's why story number 6 made it in this week. Story number 7 and the top 2 local headlines and developing news stories that made it this week. Human remains found in Youngstown have been found in Youngstown. One small headline that points out the growing challenges posed by Youngstown is the fact that human remains were found in the Salt Springs Road area on the city's west side. Now, there is no word on how long the remains were there, but after the Ohio Department of Transportation made the discovery, the incident is now under investigation. Youngstown has had growing problems with crime and poverty, and this developing story adds to a long list of the city's humanitarian needs to help aid and protect residents from harm. So keep an eye on story number 7. That's why I made it to the top 2 this week. Youngstown once again has a humanitarian problem. Human needs, human wants, especially if you found remains on the city's west side. It's a very scary story. Story number 8 and the top local headline and developing news story that made in this week. GM has big plans to invest more money into the Valley. GM looks to weave a new future with local businesses, educators, and residents. Now, the company announced a $12 million investment into the Valley. The local article also points out where the money will be channeled, while also giving hope for GM's future here locally. Now, the plans, I guess GM plans to work with local educators to recruit and build a strong workforce for the future and for future residents, while also using the services of local businesses to help achieve the company's business goals. Infrastructure improvements were also highlighted in the local article. Lawrencetown will receive $3 million for the design of a new water tower to accommodate recent business growth. Now, so far there has been a positive response from the local community after a deal from the Ohio Tax Credit Authority was approved in September. Now, remember, GM has to pay back $28 million in tax credits for violating a tax agreement in 2008 that was worth $60.3 million, but was awarded GM was also awarded in the meantime a 70% 15-year job retention tax credit to retain 3,700 workers through 2028. Now, the tax credit is worth $46.1 million, so GM is kind of making a new impact here locally, and that's why story number 8 made it to the top, because this is jobs and this is money circulating back into the community and the education system and building the future of this area. So keep an eye on story number 8. That's why it made it to the top this week. Well, those are our top 8 local headlines and developing news stories that made it this week. I'll be right back with the top 8 international headlines and developing news stories. So don't go anywhere. You're on the Mediator with me, Brian West. I'll be right back.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.
If you want to check out the stories that almost made it in or did make it in, go to our Twitter feed on our website. Check out everything. All of the sources are there. And go to the website. It's method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program.